Om Shri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Greetings to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe. Wishing you all a wonderful Monday evening. Om Namah Shivaya. We are doing nowadays India Tourism 2047 series, where we are having very special 108 Zoom sessions, which are dedicated to different facets of tourism, hospitality, aviation, MICE, and a couple of other areas. But our total focus is youth employment, youth entrepreneurship, youth startup, and at the same time, self employment by our younger generation, wherever they are. At the same time, in the education ecosystem, what should be done that more and more students, the moment they pass out from their educational hubs, educational institution, they should have a direct strategy to get into the corporate world. Today, we are going to enter a very special area of micro, small, and medium enterprise. And also, we'll show you from our chamber how we have taken the strategy that two of the institutions, one university and one college, where we will be working towards the CSR activities in the coming times with the help of corporate sector, non-resident Indians, and all our brothers and sisters across the globe, wherever they are. We are going to set them as a benchmark. There'll be one university and one college. Today, we are going to do the curtain raiser for you for the International MSME Day, which is being celebrated every year. That is on 27th of June 2024. We would be having the International MSME Day. But today we are doing the curtain raiser so that you understand what exactly is the focus of the service industry, how are we proceeding, how are we moving ahead in that, and what exactly is the vision of ours, how do we plan basically to help our youth the best possible way so that each and every youth, they should get either direct entrepreneurship, self-employment, startup, employment, whatsoever can be done for them. We should develop the strategy in that particular direction. With that as an aim, with that as a vision, we are going to move ahead. And today's session is very, very informative, very interesting, very captivating. You will come to know so many things. Even if you go through 100 books related to MSME and service industry, or for that matter, even tourism, you'll not be able to get all those things, what we will package for you all the way right over here for you today. So let's go deep into and peep into and see what exactly the MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprise service industry is offering. Let's work in that particular direction. Welcome to MSME Service Industry. Chamber for Service Industry extends you a very, very warm welcome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Chamber is a link between Indian corporate houses and approximately 32 million Indian diaspora. Those are in different countries at different places. Our focus is education and all the services which are related to education, skills, micro, small, medium enterprise, startup, entrepreneurs, tourism, hospitality, aviation, MICE industry, that's your meeting, incentives, conferences, exhibition, all that we take into consideration. And of course, very important for us is teachers training and youth empowerment, which has to be done across the globe, wherever the people are. Indian youth, if they want to become employable and globally acceptable, they got to get those skills where they should be starting their strategy for local, regional, national, and international arena. That is the way the curve has to move, and they got to move. Now, over here, we would just like to take back to you 25th of March 2020, complete lockdown in India. Everything got closed. The only thing was, it was the digital journey. It was the digital highways. So we have put the milestone right on the road, on the side of the road, and you can see beautiful what chronology we developed during the pandemic. Teachers and youth we took together. Of course, doctors, nurses, paramedical people, they did a wonderful role during the pandemic. But at the same time, you can't underestimate the role of the teachers, educators, counselors, trainers, vocational teachers, everybody. And of course, on the top of everything, our tech giants who provided seamless connectivity to everybody. So, during the thick of the pandemic, Honorable Prime Minister of India, when he talked about self-reliant India, India becoming independent in all direction, we started a journey and we have done more than 2,000 webinars during the pandemic itself, and that is cutting across different segments of service industry wherever it's possible. We extend a very hearty welcome to Vidhi Jaiswal, and at the same time from Germany, Mr. Jos Southill, who is joining us this morning. He had the query and we became friends, and he is here. I extend him a very warm welcome. Thank you very much. Over here, ladies and gentlemen, most important thing today is how to make education and skills relevant. Because whatever we are imparting in schools, colleges, universities, ITIs, polytechnic, is that relevant? Would that remain relevant by the time the children will get into the jobs? By the time the students will pass out from various institutions? Things are changing so fast. Nighttime, when you sleep and you get up in the morning, you find there's a new app, there's a new edtech platform, there's a new search engine, there's a new artificial intelligence tool. World is moving very fast. So we got to be taking care of lots of things we will discuss. But today's focus, I don't want to forget, we are on to the micro, small, and medium enterprise. Now, economy has got three areas: agriculture, manufacturing, and services. Our chamber is focusing on service industry. And during the pandemic, let's recall and remember, it was service industry which has done wonders. Now, the government of India has set the target that there got to be an increase in services exports. So we will talk about that as well. We will take that into consideration. Now, our chamber worked very hard, and 12 sectors were identified by Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, onto which our chamber worked very closely with the ministry, the joint secretary, additional secretary, director, and secretary. Everybody, all those verticals, right? Throughout 2017, we worked on this particular project, and ultimately, these 12 identified sectors of service industry, let's empower the entire ecosystem through the skills development, through competencies, with focus on entrepreneurship by creating intensive awareness regarding service industry opportunities. You can see this document. It is available on the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India website, and it was declared, it was made public on 28 February 2018. We worked very diligently on that particular project. Now, let me just proceed over here, what exactly we are talking about. I'm grateful to then the Secretary MSME, Additional Secretary MSME, Honorable Minister MSME, and everybody together over there. Our chamber submitted the complete roadmap, strategy, and action plan for the service industry. What all can be done as far as MSME sector is concerned and MSME ministry is concerned, what all they can do. I'm grateful to Dr. Arun Kumar Panda. He was the secretary, and Ram Mohan Mishra ji, he was the additional secretary. Along with others, we did a wonderful. And now I wish to share with you what all we submitted to the government of MSME, that is Ministry of MSME in the government of India. We took the segment of tourism and hospitality. And if you see things over here, I'm not reading out because that will take lots of time. But travel and tourism and hospitality was one area where we gave different segments, different areas where there could be a specialization, there could be a micro, small, and medium enterprise ventures which youth can take up. And thereafter, we came to media entertainment industry related to radio, television, theater, music, films, everything we talked over there. And then we came on to education and skill sector. Whether you're having your own coaching center, whether you're having online coaching, hybrid models, you're having home tuition, you're a counselor, you're giving some research and development program, you're giving some edtech services, you're giving some kind of a counseling services, or you are developing the curriculum or contents or instructional material, anything related to educational, whether teachers training, youth skills training, vocational training, or even if you're providing education, support services, everything we took into consideration. And this was the segment where the education and skills, they were blended together, and we worked in the direction that let's see what best can be done as far as the part of this particular segment is concerned, your education and skills vertical under service industry. Thereafter, we moved on to ITS sector because, ladies and gentlemen, more than 50% services exports as on date from India, that is exclusively when you talk about it is from IT, information technology, and information technology enabled services. We have listed out over here, and you can just see the range increases, but we have just listed few of them because we wanted to run through because it's a wonderful segment which we have developed for you. So this is the same additional part of the IT and ITS. Then comes the financial services, whether the banks or the wealth management, mutual funds, insurance, stock markets, or whatever you talk about, mergers and acquisition, capital restructuring, portfolio management, and then we came on to the retail side. When we talk about the retail malls and how, and particularly now the home-based retailers, home delivery system, fast food outlets, online marketing, multi-level marketing, couple of things, and there is a freelance market, marketing consultants, couple of things which have come up over there. We covered under services, all that. Now over here, you can see the Udham registration. That means the Ministry of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprise on their portal itself. There is an official under website. It is micro, small, and medium, and becoming the champion. And you can just work out. You can register yourself. You can increase, decrease the scope of your work. And even if you want to get it listed, you want to be a part of the government, you can work out over there also. So a lot of things being worked out. Mohit Chaudhary, hearty welcome to you. Dr. R.K. Sharma ji is joining from Central University, Bathinda. We extend him a very hearty welcome, Central University, Punjab. And Mohit Chaudhary ji, Balkrishan ji is joining from Pathankot. Hearty welcome to you. Thank you very much. Let's move ahead now. When you talk about the Udhyam registration, all young boys and girls, those want to start their own venture, whether they want to go for proprietorship, they want to go for company, they want to go for LLP, that's a limited liability partnership. So under the Ministry of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprise, these are the 9 steps which are given right over here, and everything has been given so that you understand that you can go on to udyamregistration.gov.in, open the portal, fill in your particulars. You should have your Aadhaar card with you, and you should have one address, which is the premises where from you want to do the work. It is self-registration, and thereafter you will have your Udyam registration number. Now, there are a couple of list of MSME businesses which are listed on their website. I'm just listing out over here. I'll run through because later on you can see all these things in your own time. These are all items which are listed over there under the micro, small, and medium enterprise, which you can see, you can go through, you can pick up any area of your own choice, your own specialization, which you can undertake. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this comes one of the most important slides. The micro, small, and medium enterprise sector, when you talk about in India, it contributes almost 45% of India's total industrial employment. It also comprises 50% of India's total exports. And at the same time, 95% of all industrial units of the country. And there are more than 6,000 types of products which are manufactured in these industries. That is as per the government website, msme.gov.in. When these industries grow, the economy of the country also grows as a whole and it flourishes. These industries are also known as small scale industries or SSIs. Now, something very important. The document which we submitted to the government, which I was referring to, and I was sharing with you something very important which I want to share. Government of India, in the thick of the pandemic, on 13th of May, see, 25th of March 2020, the complete lockdown in the country, the month of April had just gone. And in month of May, 13th of May, Can you imagine the Honorable Finance Minister of India, she coming on the television and announcing over there, and she delivered the economic package. Honorable Prime Minister also spoke. That was on 11th of May 2020. And Honorable Finance Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharamanji, when she talked on 13th of May 2020, and that was a historic. You can't imagine how gaga our entire chamber was, because when she made an announcement over there, she said earlier the MSME were defined on the basis of investment. Please recall, earlier they were on the basis of only investment, but now the revised definition, which was given on 13th of May 2020, they also added up, and that is to include the turnover of the company. And finally, no distinction between manufacturing and services from the Government of India, Ministry of MSME, and particularly from the Finance Minister. She made an announcement. It was on the ANI, I still recall. And can you imagine? This is the new definition. This is the revised definition: micro, small, and medium enterprise. What should be your investment? What should be your turnover? Entire classification is given over here, and criteria is investment and your annual turnover, both taken into consideration. Subhashji, hearty welcome. Pleasure to have you with us. God bless you. Thank you very much. And you have joined us over here from Panipat. Yes, Panipat is an industrial town. There's so much Panipat manufactures, Panipat gives, but at the same time, a lot of services also, because the hotels, the lodges, the resorts, the wayside amenities, that all is there. Now, this is the micro, small, and medium enterprise. I'm just showing you a cut from the website of the ministry, msme.gov.in. If you see it over there, this is the revised definition which has come into effect from 1st of July 2020, where they have talked about, if you want to do your own business, if you want to start your own business and you want to do different categories, then what should be your investment and what should be your turnover and which category you will fall. So this is the complete criteria for the micro, small, and medium enterprise. Now, let me just go further. We all have gone through, the pandemic. Do you recall that? What a challenges. Everybody at that point of time, parents having tough time to keep their children at home. And at the same time, schools locked, colleges locked, institutions locked, health services, big challenges, because when people falling sick, how to give them medicines, how to give them medical aid, how to give them the ventilators, take them to hospitals, and so much of facilities to be given at that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a services sector. When we talk about services, there is a reason. The whole move and the movement when we talk about world over, it is on services. And at the same time, with services, we got to adopt technology, because let's see, during and the post cap, the pandemic period, when you talk about in the healthcare, using data, wearable, and your virtual reality, now the doctors carrying out operations without surgery, and a small apparatus, robotic surgery, and what all is being taken. Can you imagine? As far as the work is concerned, sudden there was a surge in the remote work, accelerates digital infrastructure adoption. And now teachers have also started accepting. The corporate sector have also started accepting. You can well imagine the Google has conveyed there is a hybrid model. You can work from home. The companies have started working out. And this is something very interesting I should laugh over, because all the time becoming work alcoholic is difficult. And they say you go on a holidays, carry your laptop also with you, carry your family also, take your family also, not carry, take your family with you. Your family can enjoy, you can enjoy a few hours, you devote with the family at the same time, sit on one corner, and there you can do your work also. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think the time has arrived. You've got to recognize services sector. Services is playing very important role in education. Once again, the technology is to be adopted. Can you recall the pandemic time? How basically the EdTech platform and how technology played such an important role. Teachers tried their level best, whether on mobile phone or on laptop or on desktop. or by any means, or radio. Radio played very important role for all of us. And, I would say it is mind blowing. Okay, one more dimension I want to give you. I gave you one slide earlier that look, economy has got three parts. You've got agriculture, you've got manufacturing, and you've got services. But ladies and gentlemen, agriculture and manufacturing both are highly dependent on services sector. When you talk about manufacturing sector, you produce automobiles. There's a beautiful car of the Mahindra and Mahindra, or by Maruti, or for by Tata, or by anybody else. You require service after sale. You require maintenance after sale. You require insurance services. You require your driving license services. You require a couple of other maintenance services. I mean, imagine everywhere. No manufacturing can survive without services. And at the same time, even if I talk about agriculture, the retail malls, retail shops, online grocery. Nowadays, you tell your children, oh, we need such and such item. Your children will just go onto Amazon. They will go to, some search, some engine, they'll click the app. They'll click the app and they would say, okay, come on, let's get this item at home. So, ladies and gentlemen, customer service, customer delight, amaze the customer, technology and services, they are moving ahead to give you the best of the time. Financial services, just to recall, when did you go last to the bank? When did you go? And how many times you had to go earlier, standing in the queue, standing over there to withdraw 500 rupees also somebody, the poor chap had, now you just go to the ATM machine, tuck. And even if you are having an app, you've got a Paytm, you've got Google, Google payments, you've got so many things you have got, and you can just, and of course, your rupee payment, that is UPI. UPI is very important. It has gone abroad also. And at the same time, your cyber security services, because you need security in everything, because your data, if it is stolen, there is a great, great difficulty. And there's a lot of breach of data which can take place, and your business can come to a standstill, and you can have lots of problems. Entertainment industry, that is also services, because the real world goes, the real world, it goes online, virtual, your virtual reality, your augmented reality, your metaverse, and all that when I'm talking about, you've got to take into consideration. So there's a big contribution of the MSME in our country, we all have to realize. And if you see their contribution, it's so much because they're the backbone of any nation. And particularly when I'm talking about my sector, our hotels, our travel agents, our tour operators, our tour excursionists, our event manager, our restaurants, and there are a couple of others, those are giving services from there also. I'm getting a beautiful fragrance of the dinner. Okay, India's good and services exports. The Honorable, what you call, Commerce and Industry Minister set a target that there should be a 1 trillion export, 1 trillion US dollar equivalent export of services from India. Can you believe it? That is the target being set up. And by 2030, what exactly is going to be CAGR and all that? Now, what is our first recommendation? Our first recommendation to Ministry of MSME, Government of India, and all the stakeholders, those are dealing, because our chamber is dealing with the services sector, service industry, we would say, first of all, there should be a pan-India awareness campaign for promoting service industry. Because people, when they think about services, they think about IAS, IPS, IFS, armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, paramilitary forces, services. They do not know there is something beyond in services. And in this particular, campaign, our chamber would be more than happy to assist Ministry of MSME and all the stakeholders, the PSU and others, whatever best we can do. And there are various modules which we have planned and we can undertake and we can move on. We can take into consideration. There's a statutory bodies under the MSME, which we all should know. There's a Khadi and the Village Industries Commission. There's a choir board. There's a National Small Scale Industries Corporation. And I'm proud to share Rabindranath Ji, the former CMD of the NSIC, who took this particular organization to the great heights in India and abroad, is at present chairman of the MSME segment with our chamber. We are proud of him. Then the National Institute for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise, Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Rural Industrialization, all that you have to take into consideration. So, Udyam registration is a must, and we would make a request to each one of you whenever you get an opportunity. Now, coming on to my dear youth, you always talk about startups. When I talk about startup, you got to see 16th of January 2016 is a basically historic day in India. Startup India is a flagship initiative of the government of India where they have done so. Reboot startup policies to enhance the potential of innovative new ventures for recovery. A lot of startups have come up during the pandemic time. They got to survive, they got to grow. So they got to be hand holding to be given by the government of India to these startups because they are very important in the MSME ecosystem because they came forward and they have done a lot. So, entrepreneurship, when you talk about self employment, now women and child empowerment, a lot of startups are coming up in this particular area, including some NGOs. Tourism, yes, lots of startups in this particular area. When you talk about India being a hub for medical tourism, also cinematic tourism, also film tourism, also, and a couple of other things. Wellness ecosystem. Whenever I speak to the CEO of the Wellness Sector Skill Council, she always says, ladies and gentlemen, people need mental wellness, spiritual wellness, environmental wellness, their working place wellness. But at the same time, we got to take our best foot forward, maybe left, maybe right. Some of our left handies, some of our right handies. So, some of the trends which are shaping India's startup ecosystem in 2024, we got to understand increased investment in the deep tech startups, growth of the tier 2 and tier 3 city startups, focus on social impact startups, increased focus on sustainability as far as startups are concerned. India's edtech startups, if their growth is needed, we got to give a lot of hand holding for them. Work from home or a hybrid model, we have already discussed. The government approach to public services that needs the fresh approach. Change in customer services trends. Service delivery trends is changing. Digital transformation of services is required. Innovative education and skill is needed. Hence, knowledge management services to be provided. That is something very, very important. The gentleman who has joined us all the way from, Germany, I extended Joe's hearty welcome to you. Maybe one of these days we would like to have a session with you, and we can have a Zoom session where we can discuss because Germany is doing extremely well as far as skills are concerned, vocationals are concerned. I'm pretty sure you can give us lots of insight right from there. Now, immediate action intervention required. Train the trainers for most effective implication. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to do teachers hand holding. We got to be taking care of the teachers the best possible way. Because if we do more and more capacity building program of teachers, if we will have, personal and professional development of teachers best possible way, I think the whole country will do something fantastic. We got to do the hand holding of teachers the best possible way. And look at the Honorable Prime Minister. Once again, how did he think about in the thick of pandemic on 29th of July 2020? Can you imagine? 25th March, complete lockdown in the country. April, May, June had gone. And July 29th, he gives the new education policy 2020. And it is the new packaging where the curriculum, the pedagogy, the examination, the academic bank of credit, students' wellness, internship, internationalization, and handholding and skills getting frontal seat. Jose, thank you very much, Jose. Thank you very much, definitely. I'm so grateful to you, having posted all the way from Germany. This morning only we met, we have become friends. And I would love to have something from Germany from you coming in the program. One of these days, as per your convenience, I'll discuss with you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's come on to implementation of the LMS. When you talk about learning management systems, personalized learning experiences, improved accessibility, skill development, improved teacher training, and of course, increased, the efficiency. Vocational education is becoming very, very important. Our chamber is devoting lots of time on that. And of course, training, when you talk about your skill, your coaching, your knowledge, your teaching, your learning, your workshop, your development, all that has to be taken as a holistic. Of course, communication skill is one of the most important skill which each one of us, but at the same time, we got to have an empathy. We got to work in team. We got to have curiosity and creativity. Let me take you back to 1994, 10th of April, 1994. Having shifted to Chandigarh from Delhi, we set up India's first finishing school for service industry. And the basic objective and aim was, let's work on students' personality, their communication, their collaboration, their curiosity and creativity, and critical thinking with innovation. At the same time, can this be done in a joyful way? Can this be done with music, humor, fun, dance, happiness, passion, stimulation? Why education should be try? You got to see it from that. There got to be an inspirational skills. There got to be innovative storytelling art. There got to be a talent labs. And we got to work on soft skills, power skill, life skills, technical skills. That all is needed. And we are so very happy that almost 100,000 youth and almost 36,000 teachers, they've gone through the process, and we are so very happy. The present government use a lot of Hindi words, and they try and work in the direction of like Niti Ayog when they talk about. But Niti stands for, the National Institute for Transforming India. So we thought of, why not? When we talk about heart in Hindi is dil. So why not the dil should be used? Digital inspirational lab, making education and skills relevant the best possible way. So ladies and gentlemen, all of us together, whether at a school level or college level or university level or wherever we are, for teachers as well as the students, we got to bring in education curiosity, creativity, imagination, innovation, design thinking, critical thinking, adaptive learning, immersive learning, project based learning, technology adoption, Internet of Things, exploring and experimental thinking, and education, joyful learning, empathy in education, power of thought, and mind guides. All that has to be worked together, which we have to plan. I'm proud that recently I had an opportunity to be with the youth and the teachers. What a vibrant university. What a dynamic and dedicated Vice Chancellor, Professor Tiwari ji, and his entire team of officers. Those are posted over there. They are doing wonderful job. It was a treat to my soul, my eyes, my spirit to be with the Central University of Punjab at Bathinda. We have taken a pledge. We will work with them closely. Each and every child, those are students, those are studying over there. They all should say the daylight the moment they pass out from there. That is the strategy we are working on in that particular. Let's move forward from university. I'm taking you to a beautiful college, very, very dynamic principal. This is the Government College of Education, Sector 20D, Chandigarh. And when you look at this particular institution, it was a treat and a pleasure to meet the youth student. Those are doing B.Ed. Those are getting their education. Can you see recently they had their convocation, and the Honorable Governor of Punjab and Administrator Chandigarh with Advisor Chandigarh with Secretary Education and along with other dignitaries. And you can see the dynamic principal also right over there. All of them together, we have decided in Chandigarh we would be working closely with this particular institution, and we will try and bring in finishing school there as well. Let's move ahead now. We are closing in another 5 slides. This is something to enhance the capacity of the existing service industry entrepreneurs, introducing new entrepreneurs program. And there are a couple of things which can be done with the Ministry of MSME when we take that into consideration. Some of the recommendations we would like to make to Ministry of MSME, the marketing promotion schemes when we are talking about whether in India or abroad, and the MICE part when you talk about meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibition. A lot can be done where our chamber can give great support to you, to the ministry. Technology is seeping in, it's moving in, is coming like tsunami. Let's adopt in the MSME segment also, and particularly in the services sector, because that's what, given the growing importance of the data economy, it's paramount that the government creates an independent body which can advise and provide consultancy to Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise, enable them to win in this new digital world. This is very important. Different ministries have done, and it is the right time after the results come and after election gets over, this ministry also thinks of, and they should try and set up the advisory part, the independent body, which can do a lot for them. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we are really serious, first of all, the education has to be made practical. Education has to be made outside classroom. Nature has to be taken care of. And I'm talking something practical with you. A lot of news is coming from so many places. The car was going, there was extreme heat, and car automatically got on fire. There was a bus which was coming near Gurugaon, Gurugram, and that caught fire. Something else is forests are burning because the temperature is rising. If we really want to control the climate change, the global warming, all of us, we have to be together. Education got to be practical. Education got to be with skills. Education got to be with competencies. Education should be with nature, part of nature, not only like what Macaulay had done. That time he might have changed the India's education ecosystem, but I think we come from the era where Indians can do wonders. We all can do wonders. Let's move in that particular direction. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, let's empower the micro, small, and medium enterprise. And particularly, we are focusing on services sector. 27th of June is going to be the historic day, is going to be International MSME Day. And our chamber is going to have the confluence and the podlock of all the stakeholders of service industry together. Let's get together. Let's move together. Let's be together. And let's plan it out what best we all can do. With these words, thank you very much for joining us today. Look forward to meeting you tomorrow evening with one of our distinguished guests at 9 p.m. for yet another program of the series India Tourism 2047. What would be the world scenario? What would be India's scenario when we would be celebrating, jubilating 100 years of our independence? All depends on how we shape our youth, and there we shape our MSME. Thank you for joining us today. Look forward to meeting